Oh, hey, sorry, I forgot you were here. I was busy thinking, and that's what happens when I think. Got another one. I'm super excited about this one. There's a lot at play with this that I don't know that I can go over precisely on here, but I can give you some big general concepts on how you're going to write an offer and use this. This is if they've got an offer already accepted. Not talking about one that is got a contingency in place for selling a house. I'm talking about they've got a solid offer they're moving forward with, and they're just willing to take a backup offer in case that one falls through. This is so smart to use. Listen, this what I tell people, my clients, is that you go to Kings Island, the lines are 2 hours long. How amazing would it be if you could have a version of you that you could place in line, save your spot so that you're continuing to follow the line while you go get in line at another one, maybe even another one. So you got 3 lines you're in now while you go to another one and see if there's any other ones that you want. So it's pretty exciting. Let me see who's at my door real quick. That's the UPS man. All right. So it's super exciting because now you're saving your spot in line. It would make no sense if that was an option for you at Kings Island and you're like, oh, I don't really want to do that. What? Why would you not want to save your spot in all the lines? You love the ride. You want to ride the ride. Get in line, okay? It's just amazing, okay? So these are huge show houses that are pending if your client wants to see them. Who cares? Go show the house. Don't be lazy. Go show the house. Write a backup offer. Let's go. And here's how we do it. So first of all, you're going to write your purchase agreement. And in the further conditions of the purchase agreement, you're going to write C addendum to purchase agreement backup offer, or C backup offer addendum, that sort of thing. And then you send this with it. You fill in the date you're writing it. You fill in the date of the purchase agreement. The address is going to auto-populate in there, and then we're going to read through this, all right? It is understood and agreed by all parties that the purchase agreement to which this addendum is attached is a backup offer to a primary purchase agreement which has been accepted by the seller. Upon acceptance of our offer, the earnest money shall be delivered and deposited in accordance with the purchase agreement. Okay, so what did that just say? 1, we know you have an offer that you have accepted and you're proceeding forward with. 2, this is a backup offer to that. And 3, we are going to deliver earnest money in accordance with the purchase agreement. Okay, so you're going to deliver the earnest money the way you stipulate in the purchase agreement. If you're going to do it within 4 business days, you're going to deposit $3,000. Then that's what you're going to do, even if you're a backup. Backup offers have no power if there's no financial obligation tied to them. Because if the seller kills the deal on their current offer because they want to come to your backup and you have no earnest money in play, then you may go, I don't really want it anymore. Well, now they just killed a deal they could have closed to get to yours, and you don't want it anymore. So the earnest money gives them comfort that when they kill that deal, you're going to be ready to go, okay? So earnest money gets delivered. This backup offer shall remain in full force and effect for a period of from the purchase agreement. How many days? Well, I like to think that inspections and appraisals, inspections are 10 to 15 days. Appraisals could be 10 to 25 days. So I normally would be 30 days, but this could be something you could ask the listing agent. Hey, what are your timelines? I want to know how long my backup offer should remain in effect. And you could say period of 365 days. I mean, doesn't really matter but you just got to remember that if this is in force and you go find another house that you'd rather buy, you better be ready to make some maneuvers to kill this deal if it's still in force. Okay, we're going to talk about that more later. But if this backup offer is in play, you got to be careful when you make another offer, because what if somehow some lightning strikes twice situation happens and they kill their first deal and come to your backup offer at the exact same time that the seller of another house is accepting your offer. Now you got two houses under contract. I'm going to show you how I fix that problem, but just being aware, reading this, that's something that could happen. So for a period of 30 days from the date of this addendum, except that it may be extended in writing by agreement of all parties or terminated as provided herein. So you can extend it in writing if the seller agrees to, or you can terminate it at any time. And I'll show you how. Buyer may withdraw this backup offer at any time prior to receipt of a signed mutual release from the primary purchase agreement. So if you find another house, they take your offer, you can withdraw this backup offer. Boom. As long as the listing agent has not delivered a signed mutual release from the primary purchase agreement, this is always still a backup offer and can be withdrawn. Okay, the moment you get the signed mutual release, then you know you're in first position now. This backup offer will terminate immediately upon receipt of notice that the primary transaction has closed. If it does not close, broker who represents the buyer in the backup offer shall be notified by means of a signed mutual release from the purchase agreement for that transaction. The backup offer shall then become the primary purchase agreement. So, in the event this transaction closes that they're currently working on that you're a backup to, this dies. If it doesn't close, then they're going to send you a mutual release from the purchase agreement that is currently going, and you're in first position immediately. Locked in, everything rocks. Closing of this backup transaction will then proceed according to the terms and conditions of the purchase agreement, except, this is important, that if any of the time periods commence or begin on the words date of acceptance, that shall be changed to, quote, date of receipt of mutual release from the prior purchase agreement. So, a great example is inspections. You have 14 days, let's say, from the date of acceptance of the purchase agreement. Well, those words, date of acceptance, are now changed to you have 14 days from the date of the receipt of the mutual release from the prior transaction. So now you start doing inspections and you have 14 days. You don't do inspections, in generally speaking, you don't do appraisals. You don't start your loan in full force. You can, but you don't do the things that cost you money, at least, until you get that mutual release. Otherwise, you just spent money on an appraisal and on an inspection, and the first deal closes, you just wasted all your money and time. So time frames, except for earnest money, any of those time frames that end with these words, date of acceptance, that date of acceptance is changed to receipt of the mutual release. So once you become first position, those time frames all start. In the event this backup offer is terminated in writing or buyer withdraws this backup offer, earnest money deposited with the backup offer shall be returned to the buyer promptly. So if you're doing a backup offer and you kill it or you mutually kill it, you withdraw it, or they or you together kill it, or it automatically terminates or whatever because the first deal closes, you're going to get your earnest money back. Okay? Only time you won't get your earnest money back is if you become first position legitimately and then don't proceed according to the contract and withdraw for a non-contractual reason. Okay? That's just like normal then. So it's not a fear like, well, what happens to earnest money? Well, we're going to hold on to it, and it's going to sit there at the title company until you either become first position and close it, or it's returned to you because you withdraw your backup offer because you got another house or whatever. Okay? No fear. It's not a scary thing. I am going to tell you a couple things that I think are important. First of all, you might consider to limit the pain of your client leaving money laying around, especially if you're going to do like multiples of these. You might say that $500 of the earnest money mentioned in the purchase agreement will be delivered upon acceptance. of this backup offer. The remaining balance will be delivered when this backup offer becomes first position. Okay? Notwithstanding lines 8 and 9, okay, that'd be a way to put that. That makes your offer not as strong, earnest money wise, but it does keep your client from leaving $3,000 here, $3,000 there, $3,000 there. It's a much smaller amount. You could also write in that, I love using language here. This backup offer, whoops. I'll just take the beginning part of this. This is another way to protect yourself if you're going to do multiple backup offers. Or, honestly, even if you're going to do one backup offer and then you're going to run a write offers on another house. This backup offer will terminate it immediately when if buyer's offer on another house is accepted. Seller should check with buyer before executing a mutual release on the prior purchase agreement to be sure they have not gone under contract on another home while waiting. I mean, this is just common sense. Basically, the moment buyer's offer on another house is accepted. So this backup offer, boom, dead. It auto kills itself now. If we write an offer on 123 Main Street after writing an offer on this house, 123 Main Street says yes. As soon as it's signed and delivered to us, this is now dead. Dead, gone. And we're even warning them here. Seller should check with buyer before executing a mutual release on the prior purchase agreement to be sure they have not gone under contract on another home while waiting. So we're being nice. We're saying, listen, we're going to go keep looking because that's what you do when you have a backup offer in place. And we're going to write offers. We're not going to kill this backup offer and then write an offer. We're going to write offers. If we get one accepted, this one automatically dies. And we can prove what happened first, right? If we get ourselves in a pickle, they would have to be literally to the second signed at the same time. Not going to happen. And delivered to your email even at the same time. The mutual release from the first deal and the new offer that you just made. So it's not going to happen. You're protecting yourself here. And when you write the next offers, you need to disclose that buyer has backup, which we can come up with this language, but buyer has backup offers currently in effect. And if one of those backup offers becomes first position before the acceptance of this offer, then this new offer we're writing over here on this other house is automatically withdrawn. So the reverse of this has to then go into your offers so that you don't get caught where the backup offer comes into play and then they accept your new offer on a different house and you got two again. So we got to protect both sides of this, okay? Let's see, what else on this one? Those are the two most common things that we do. And it really just protects. You just got to keep track of this form, honestly. All other terms, the conditions of the purchase agreement remain unchanged, and then you sign. There's probably more in here that we could talk about, but at the end of the day, when you go to your purchase agreement, you're going to write it like normal. Very much like normal, except for, like I said, in the further conditions, you're going to write see backup offer addendum. Because, you don't want to, like, what closing date do I use? Well, you use normal, 30 days or, 30 or 5 days after obtaining loan approval. Because the loan 5 days after obtaining loan approval, you guys should know this after watching all these videos, 5 days after obtaining loan approval is based on the 35 days, let's say, that you got to get loan approval. So, and that was 35 days from acceptance. So 35 days from acceptance changed to 35 days from the mutual release. Where is that at, that line? Change the receipt of the mutual release. So now we get the mutual release, we have 35 days, and then we have the 5 extra days to close it. So we're a total of 40 from the receipt of the mutual release or the date we mentioned, whichever is later. Well, let's say the 15 days into the first deal that we're a backup to, it falls apart, we get the mutual release. Well, we had a 30-day closing date plus the 35 and 5. Well, we're 15 days into the first 30 days. So we're not going to get it closed by the date, but that's why we have this second thing, which says 5 days after getting final loan approval, which that was 35 days from acceptance, which changed automatically to 35 days from receipt of mutual release. So now 15 days has elapsed, but our final time frame hasn't changed one bit. Now, you do have to process through things like possession and those sorts of things, but it's not a big deal if you understand the purchase agreement, if you understand this document. Like, it's not hard, but as I'm describing it, it is hard, but it's not hard for me, but it may be tough for you right now. That's why we study. That's why we do this. Okay. But anyway, this is how I handle backup offers. I love them. I think it's ludicrous to not go get in line on a house that you want while you're looking for other houses. It's like a dream scenario, other than just getting the house you wanted in the first place. But when you can't and you're a backup offer, because here's the deal. You're a backup offer. There's no more negotiating. Well, we'll just see if it comes back on the market, says your client. Well, can I please tell you that's a dumb idea? Because these people just sold their house for $225,000. Watch what I do with my purchase agreement. You ready? We don't really know what they sold it for. But here's what I'm telling my client. I'm saying, client, we're going to put a backup offer in. I want you to make your backup offer so strong that the seller is mad at his agent because they took the first one. And now they're looking for a way out so they can come do your deal. So we're not writing no wimpy backup offers. We're writing strong backup offers so that the seller wants to get out of their first deal anytime they can legally and come to yours. That's our goal. So that's why you might not do this. You may give them the money. If you've got enough, you're going to give them the money, and then you go do another house. But you want to make your backup offer so strong that they want to get out of the first deal and come to you. They negotiate really hard on inspections. They don't give way on appraisal gaps. They just beat people up so they can come to your deal because it's so much better because you wrote it so strong of a backup offer. The other thing is, just in general, why you want to make sure you do the backup offer thing is because when you don't, it's going to go back on the market and you're going to be in the same stupid battle you were in to begin with 20 other people, let's say. So why not avoid that? They don't expect to be using your backup offer anyway, right? So they're going to take your backup offer, be like, yeah, that's fine. It's $5,000 less. It's $5,000 more. It's the same. It's whatever. It's still a good offer. We'll take it. We'll never use it. Well, guess what? When they kill the first deal, or if they kill that first deal, you are automatically in. They don't get a chance to go back to the market to try to get the other 20 people to get them a higher price. They just come, yours is live, and you close the deal. It is so, so good, so important. Use backup offers.